I think there are a lot of themes in this play. The one that I think is the most relevant is that sometimes you have to make choices for yourself that hurt other people. And it's not because you're a bad person or that you're a mean person, but that it's just a part of life. It's a part of sharing space, intimate space with other human beings. It gets gritty and it gets uncomfortable. And sometimes you have to make choices where you create space and cut people out of your life that you love. The reason why I put that in was to add action and momentum and to symbolize how we change from the immediate view. It's an imperceptible change. You can't really see it, just how the stage is rotating. I should have said this very, very slowly. So during the entire production, it's supposed to rotate one full circle. And such as in life, you look at something can be changing really slowly, but it is in fact making a huge change. So that was the point.
Yeah.
Definitely that this place speaks to this notion that the truth, how you see it, or how much of the story that you have, how you're facing it, it really changes your focus. So as the story progresses, you get more information, and the truth amazingly changes. Or what were truths before are not so truthful later on. So I really like that element that the truth changes with time, so, and it's not to say that people were lying before, or maybe they were or whatever, but it's just your perception on what is truth changes as circumstances arise. Going to bring out my feminist agenda, but I really do think the things that are kind of brought up in the relationship between Craig and Kelly and Craig and the world, I think war kind of symbolizes, in this play, symbolizes man's need to conquer and be out in the world and be aggressive. And I'm not saying all men are like that. I'm just saying men have been, conditioned throughout the centuries or years or whatever some people might say biologically to go out and be the alpha male. And the pain that comes with that, you are trained to compartmentalize. And so war is the most violent manifestation of that gender issue. And so that's what I feel in the play war symbolizes, is man's need to go out and conquer, and it's reflects in the play Craig's need to dominate his wife.
Yeah, actually, I think Peter is kind of a very compelling character. He's very easy, conversational, as much as he goes on and on. You kind of also just like him. And Kelly likes him and wants to like him a lot. And I think she finds herself sort of slipping back into her relationship with him as a brother-in-law. But it's what he keeps bringing up. He seems to have no censor to the fact that this is like really painful, emotional, trauma that he just keeps stabbing her with. And so I think that there'll be sentences that go by and just phrases of dialogue, and Kelly seems to be okay with it. Like she's relaxing a little bit, she's comfortable with Peter, and then he just comes back with something else. I think the difference between how Kelly relates to Peter compared to how her relationship with Craig, she and Craig have gone through different, deeper levels as compared to with her brother. It's brother-in-law, it's sort of the same, but with Craig, there's an evolution. I mean, I think she started out with a relationship with him as a new love, and how that was deepened, and they went through him being shipped off to Iraq and all of that. And then their relationship is not so great. We don't quite know exactly what the turning point is, but there's just a lot of, as an actor, there's a lot of moments that are unsaid in her relationship with Craig. I mean, most of it is like most relationships we have with, you know, significant others. It's what's, you know, beneath what we're saying, not what we're actually saying. I think it's been the most revealing play that I've ever done in terms of consistently being taught more by the character, because so much happens in the process, especially because it's only like a 2-person play, and Kelly's on stage pretty much the entire time, and there's things every night that I realize as time goes on where I feel like normally my approach has always been, you know, read the script, kind of figure out what you're doing, you know, I've got this, and yeah, you learn some things and the director tells you some things, but this has really been this really deep process, and I find the more that I'm truer to Kelly, the more she shows to me. You know,
it was a challenge, but that's part of the reason I was so excited by it. You know, playing. I mean, they're 2 totally different people, but on one hand, they're twins, and it almost seems like there's an older twin and a younger twin kind of thing, because Peter has always tried to imitate Craig. In fact, he says that's how he became an actor. When he was younger, he would try to act like his brother Craig. But it's interesting. You know, I've definitely had quick changes before and had to come back on in a different costume, sometimes even as a different character. But now I'm quick changing literally between every scene and coming back on as one of the 2 brothers. So it's interesting, and I think what I meant to say, which I don't think I got to, is I think that they have similarities. You know, they're very different people, but you know, I think they do dress somewhat alike, and certain things. I think they believe in the same things. Peter just presents himself a little bit differently. Craig's a little bit more stoic, and obviously he's a military guy, but Peter grew up around guns too, so he gets all that, but he went the acting route, and it's pretty fun to play both, and it's definitely fun to play an actor. I think Christopher Shinn, obviously he has some acting experience, I think, because just like the monologues about being in a play and what it's like, and you know, every play is different, but you have that stress. It's like, you know, you're in a relationship with these other 2 people or 8 people or 20 people, depending on how big the show is. So there's a lot of stresses and strains dealing with these different people coming together. You know, they might get along great on stage, but things are always different backstage. So. Craig, you know, the truth surrounding that, and of course the war itself, the truth of what really happened, the weapons of mass destruction that didn't exist, and you know, and we talk about Kelly and Craig differing on how we got into the war, although we agree that we should be there to help the Iraqis. You know, they would benefit from us being there, but at the same time, we sort of lied our way into the war, I think. I mean, as far as the characters are concerned, I think they both believe that. It's just an excellent production. It's been quite a challenge, but that's what I was looking forward to. The challenge of playing 2 characters, let alone twins, and being on stage the entire time pretty much. And, you know, props to Kelly, Linda, for doing such a great job herself. And we've worked pretty hard, and I hope to do it justice, basically. And hopefully Christopher's going to come and see it, but if not, we did it justice. Trust me. That Hillary is an awesome director. We've worked together several times, but she's never directed me before. But she's definitely very, very hands-on. She gets it. She comes from a, you know, theatrical, I guess, a teaching background. Like, she starts from the ground up, and it's been great. Can you repeat the question? I just wanted to talk about Hillary the whole time.
No, I was asking you how awesome Hillary was and how she was awesome, and you answered my question.
So many ways. So many ways.
All right,
She's
thank
great.
you.
That play is my favorite.
Oh.